This is Trent Shelton, president of Rehab Time. You're watching Soundbooth Television.
Welcome to Soundbooth News. We recently attended the Unlock Your Dreams award ceremony where we caught up with former professional football player, now motivational speaker, honoree Trent Shelton.
The first thing was commitment. Staying loyal to what you said you were going to do long after the mood you set in was left. It's easy to make a decision now. Why you hype? Why your energy is low? But who are you next month? Who are you next year? Are you going to still take things from these awesome speakers that came up to you that are living their dreams, living their vision, and apply it to your life? Are you going to be committed? So I challenge you to do something you don't like. I don't like getting up early. So sometimes I go on the streak of waking up an hour early to work on my goals and vision because so many people say, I don't have enough time.
How are you doing today?
Good, doing good, Janelle. It's a pleasure to actually be out here interview with you not too long ago on the radio, so it's a pleasure to be able to do this in person.
I appreciate that he actually remembers because I know he has a lot going on. I appreciate that. So tell us about Rehab first.
Yeah, Rehab, it stands for Renewing Every Heart and Body. And a lot of people, when you hear that name, you might think drug addiction or alcohol addiction. I mean, it's for anything, but it came from an athletic standpoint with me, being hurt. So you put a strength back into a weakness. So I just want to take that to real life because we all have something that we can better, something that we can strengthen. And we want to do that mind, body, and soul. You know, we want to hit all three aspects of life.
Nice. So he doesn't like talking about it because I remember that from the radio interview. But he actually has a background in the NFL. Tell us a little bit about that.
I played with the Washington Redskins, the Indianapolis Colts, and Seattle Seahawks, and I played college at Baylor University. It was a real rough career, especially NFL. College was great, but NFL, up and down, really took a lot of my confidence as a person because, you know, when your life is in the hands of somebody else in a sense, you know, it kind of makes you like, wow, they cut me. Am I not good? And it started making me doubt a lot of things in my life.
That's a sense of, you know, rejection that no one wants to go through. But I think it was a part of your testimony and brought you to where you are now. How do you feel about that? How do you feel like those incidents brought you to rehab?
It's crazy. It's hard for me to really explain because every time, like, I have a flashback and like, wow, like the NFL wasn't about football. It was about a platform. It was about giving me strength in certain aspects, like knowing your circle. And so I talk about these things because of that NFL experience, the things that I went through, the life I was living. So God is good. You know, the things that you go through, it might seem like a disappointment, but really he can be setting you up for a rescue. And so every time I look back now in my past, I'm like, whoa, like I had to go through these things to bring me to this place. And a lot of times, it's not about God putting you through things. Sometimes we go through things ourselves. He allows us to do that. But when you become faithful to him, he can use that test as your testimony. So I always say, you know, a bad chapter doesn't mean you can't have a great story. So I want people out there to really get that.
I hear you. I hope you guys are listening to that. Okay, so he's coming from the NFL, leaving the NFL because it didn't work out. But God made it that, you know, he has a book. He has what, 4 books?
4 books.
4 books. He has an organization called Rehab and then Prehab. So let's talk about the books, the 4 books.
We got the first one we wrote, me and Baylor Bar, that's my co-author. He's a person that was right there when Rehab Time started, person that played with me in college football. I was like, hey man, I'm with you, whatever you want to do. So the first book is called Breaking Your Own Heart. That grabs the attention of a lot of people because, you know, sometimes it's like, I don't break my own heart, but really we do. You know, if you just tell yourself it's my fault, even when it's not, it gives you a sense of responsibility. You can change that situation and take the power out of that situation's hands. So that's a really good book. You're Perfect for the Heart That's Meant to Love You is another book, and it's basically just telling people to embrace your flaws. So we live in such a society these days with social media and everything where a lot of bullying is going on. Even adults don't realize that. We go through bullying, it's just called hating. You know, it's a graduated term.
Wow, I didn't think about it like that.
We really do. And so it's just about accepting yourself. Look in the mirror and say, you know what, God made me this way. I'm perfect for the heart that's meant to love me. See My Heart, Not My Past is our big book. It was built off of Rehab Time, that statement. A lot of people don't even know the word Rehab Time, but they know See My Heart, Not My Past. And that's just daily growth, making your todays better than yesterday's and having faith that your tomorrows will be better than your todays. And that's personally like a book that really touches my heart. We actually wrote it's a 200-page book and something-page book. We wrote it in 1 week.
What?
1 week. A lot of people don't realize that. Like a lot of the books that we write, it doesn't take us more than 14 days to write. We just write it from the heart, and we just go with that and just put it out there. And the last book is Know Your Circle, which a lot of people identify with. I'm pretty sure a lot of friendships ended over that, but I don't do that to end friendships. I do that to basically look at yourself first and look at the people around you. Make sure they're the people that's going to push you forward, that's going to give you truth and honesty. It's going to make you uncomfortable, honestly. And that's what my team does. They make me uncomfortable. They challenge me to be better. And so the people you're around should do that for your life.
And so you have rehab and then you have prehab. Why was it important to have prehab? And tell us what prehab is.
Prehab is to prevent you from going through rehab. So
It's a what?
To prevent you from going through rehab. So with the kids, so we don't have to put them through rehab, and we can do prevention. I think a lot of times, you know, we look at this generation with the younger people, as I'm saying. I mean, I'm 29, so I guess I'm still young.
That's my age too, so yes, I'm young.
The teenagers, should I say, and we want to point our fingers at them, but the question is, who's teaching them? You know, like we're the people that are teaching them, so we want to give them the experience before the experience. I mean, just like our parents did, people talk to us, but I really want to give them with honesty and truth, because I mean, if we would listen to our parents, a lot of times we would have put that hand on the stove that our parents said was hot. But a lot of times in life we do that. So I want to be honest with the kids and show them, hey man, this is what I went through, this is what I still go through, and like open up to them and let them read me like a book. And I encourage everybody to do it, because that's how you're gonna reach the youth these days, because they're so blinded by everything else. They need truth, because a lot of times we look at people and we're like, well, you never went through this, like our parents. You just a grown up. You weren't a teenager, but we don't realize they went through the same things, you know.
Or maybe even worse.
And maybe even worse, exactly. So I just want to encourage the teachers of the world, us, to share your experiences, open up. And I mean, that's how rehab time was built, honestly, off of mistakes, my mistakes. And that's what I do today. I tell people, hey, this is what I did wrong, a few things I did right, but I really want you to learn. That's why I do things, so you can learn and apply it to your life.
Okay, and so how old do you have to be in prehab?
We target 13 to about 17. The teenage group, especially like, even about 7th grade, about middle school up to senior high school, because every single day, I mean, it's bad. I just did a video on bullying the other day, and a lot of people, you know, were on there, oh, it doesn't matter, you can't stop bullying, you can't do this, but I want to bring attention to it, because like I said, if you even go on my page on Facebook, I get bullied. You know, it's people that talk crazy to me, whatever, so I can handle it because I know where that hate comes from. It's a place of insecurity, but a lot of kids don't know that. So these days, anybody can write on their comments and say, you're ugly, this or that. So I get comments every single day, or messages in my inbox where a kid wants to kill themselves every single day.
Every single day?
Every single day.
Dang.
And they can't deal with it because, you know, either this relationship or the people at their school doesn't like them and things like that. So I want to let them know that you're awesome. It's just the people that maybe admire what you do or like what you're doing, or you're different. And what you realize when you get older, being different is a good thing, not a bad thing, because you stand out. So that's what we try to preach to them, to give that security within themselves. So when they get this hate, they can realize that it's from a place actually of love, but they don't know how to portray it to you.
And people die every day, unfortunately, from bullying. You know, kids, they die. They literally kill themselves.
It's a serious problem, and I think the term has become watered down just because of us bullying. Just beat them up, you know, whatever. That doesn't help it. Like I tell adults, look at it as hating. Okay, I know that's a term that we use a lot. So look at it as hating on another person for no reason at all, just because they're different. And what's different? You know, we all view the world in different ways. You know, so your definition of different might not be somebody else's definition. So have that compassion to see in somebody else that what you see in yourself.
That's awesome. Okay, so you have prehab, you have rehab, you have the books. Is there anything that we need to know about you and what you're doing in your ministry organization?
Next year is going to be a big year for us because we're going to be traveling, doing conferences. We're going to hit 3 cities. We haven't decided, but New York is definitely a possibility.
I was about to say, you better come back here. I know you're from Dallas, right? Dallas.
New York is actually one of our bigger demographics. New York, Atlanta, Phoenix, and Dallas. So we're definitely trying to at least 2, maybe 3 conferences next year. And we want to bridge that gap because with rehab time, I always say we're the bridge to change. We try to bridge the secular and the sacred. Like we want to let people know that I wouldn't even come to church or wouldn't even try to better themselves. Like, hey, you can be yourself, you can be cool. And we want to lead people over to the other side. So it'll be definitely a mixture of a lot of things, different talents and things like that.
That's awesome, and you really are true. You guys really are a bridge, because I know for me, my brother, I actually found out about you on Facebook because of my brother, and my brother, he doesn't want to do anything about Christ as of right now. So that being said, he's listening to what you say on Facebook. He's reading and he's watching. So that's how I found out about you, through someone who doesn't really care much about Christ. So that's amazing. So I thank you for what you're doing and what you're going to do. Definitely come back to New York. And for more news and information, stay connected.